afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today. I'm Shail Bhatnagar, joining you on this weekly expiry day for the Nifty Bank on 2:30 p.m. and it's been a fantastic session so far. Let's look at, for a change, at Nifty Bank. As I had mentioned, Wednesday being the weekly expiry day for the Bank Nifty has turned out to be an amazing day for private sector banks. The index itself at a fresh record high, 51,745 for you, and we still have about an hour left, 2.5% higher. This going is getting stronger and stronger thanks to 4 private sector banks, all of them showing very high traction in terms of price as well as volume. Let's start with HDFC Bank, and you'll see a very strong rally on HDFC Bank, up to 2.5% as far as prices are concerned, at about 1663, 55 rupees higher, now 3.5% up. A very strong gain coming into ICICI Bank, 3% higher at about 1159. Axis trading 40 rupees higher at 1232, and Kotak shining forth at about 1753, up 34 rupees. All of them have very high trading volumes, in particular HDFC Bank, where you see the number touching roughly 4,548 crores. Yesterday's delivery statistics were amazing. We've talked about it in our early morning session, and when Mitesh was with us, he had mentioned the possibility of a 1,000-point uptick on Nifty Bank. That's happened clearly. What also is sticking is the volume on HDFC Bank, 4,540 crores so far, and we'll be watching this with great detail in terms of how the delivery statistics have turned out. That of course will be available tomorrow morning as we speak. Just as we are discussing Nifty Bank, there is an equally strong move coming on the Nifty, now 23,621 for you, 64 points higher, driven all the way by the 4 private sector banks. Remember, the early morning high for the Nifty was 23,629. We are at 23,622. I'll give you the points contribution. Today has been a day that belongs to Nifty Bank, but we've seen the Nifty actually go down dramatically to about 23,410, and from then on it's been about a 200-point uptick on the Nifty on an intraday basis. In terms of pullers and draggers, as I had mentioned, it's the 4 banks. ICICI Bank contributing 64 points to Nifty's rally, HDFC Bank contributing 60 points, Axis 26, and Kotak 12 points. 11 points have been brought in by State Bank of India. We've almost still way off as far as record highs are concerned. So this is a rally that's based on delivery. This is a rally that's based on momentum, and we are seeing a very sharp move coming in at a record high as far as Nifty Bank is concerned. Apart from that, we'll be joined by Mr. Oshu Krishnan, Senior Research Analyst for Technicals and Derivatives at Angel One, and at 3 p.m. Rit Jain, Lead Analyst at 5paisa.com, will be joining us. A record high, ladies and gentlemen, on the Nifty as well. All of it driven by banks. Now, what else is moving? It's fertilizer stocks. Ahead of the June 22nd meeting of the GST Council. Remember, the Fitment Committee has a proposal lined up for the GST Council to remove the 5% tax on fertilizer stocks, on fertilizer companies. Well, that's a very cumbersome process. Nevertheless, we've seen a very strong move coming into stocks such as FACT, which is at a record high. That's Fertilizers and Travancore Company Limited. A very strong move coming in on RCF, again a record high of 187, 8% higher. And of course, stocks such as Chambal Fertilizers and Coromandel as well. These are the stocks that have hit all-time highs. What else is clicking in the market apart from fertilizers is the return of the rally on sugar stocks. So you have Sri Renuka Sugars now breaching the 50 rupee mark. The counter itself up 7%. You have KCP Sugar Industries up 10% at a circuit of 47 rupees. Bhavana Sugars up 7%. at 131. In the broader market, there is hectic activity as far as fertilizer and sugar stocks are concerned. While we are at 237, let's look at the broader advanced decline. For the moment, it's the bears that are at the driving seat on the Lal Street. 1288 stocks have been in the red compared with just 1000 which are in the green. We track 19 indices for you, ladies and gentlemen. Out of 19, 10 are in the red, but the gainers are distinctly outfiring the losers. The Nifty Bank 2.8% higher, Financial Services Index 2.3% higher, the Nifty PSU Banking Index up 1%. I'm just wondering if we have Osho Krishnan with us. Let me just check with the PCR. There's a very strong 15-minute candle on the Nifty, and for the past 1 hour, this started at about 2 p.m. For the last 4 odd 15-minute candles, you've seen nothing but gains coming in. Is Mr. Krishnan with us? Yes, he is. Good afternoon, Osho. What a lovely day to have you. The Nifty Bank started firing from the first second of trade, and we have a 1400, almost a 1500 point uptick on Nifty Bank, driven primarily by HDFC Bank, ICICI, Kotak and Axis. The Nifty is also firing all cylinders. What do you think is happening?
Very good afternoon, Shal sir. Firstly, it has been a very fantastic day for the Bank Nifty, and now even the Nifty have started a very strong traction going on. So I expect this should continue. But looking at the momentum, I was expecting near about 51,500 should be the immediate resistance that can be seen on Bank Nifty. But looking at the overall momentum, it has now reached towards the zone of 52,000. So the positive front is in the upcoming expiry week. We are witnessing a strong building up of position around 51,000 and 51,500. So I'm expecting 51,000 put writings are increasing drastically in the last couple of trading hours. So I'm expecting that now 51,000 should be acting as a very strong support for Bank Nifty. But the move from the HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, these have provided very strong thrust in the market, and such kind of moves are very rare to be seen when all the private sector's bank moves approximately 4 to 5% in a day. So that is the kind of move that we are witnessing today. And I guess today, major of the day traders will be very happy because Bank Nifty and even the counters related to Nifty have seen a very strong move.
Yes, and what's really interesting is that 11 out of 12 banking stocks are in the green, and this is a rally driven by the under ownership, the undervaluation of private sector banks, and of course patience that was desperately tried over the last 2.5 years. Let's hope that you have a strong move coming into continuously into Axis, ICICI, in particular HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank. If you subtract the rally that we've seen on HDFC Bank over the last 3 or 4 trading sessions, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a flat trade for 2.5, 3 years. For Kotak, the pain is even more intense. If you remove the last 4 days action, Kotak has gone nowhere over the last 5 years. So this is at a time when balance sheets have improved dramatically, valuations have come down, markets have hit record highs, and private sector banks have not participated. So given this upthrust that's come in today, almost 1450 points, 1450 points, you see this move now continuing forward. And it's the, like I said, under ownership, under valuation, and the thrust that is needed in the market from the private sector space. Osho, given a choice between the 3 or 4 private sector banks that are ticking today, which one would you prefer over others?
See, basically on technical charts, all of them are looking very lucrative. Axis Bank is one of the topic which I have recommended today morning only, but it has reached the target for the short-term perspective. But overall, all the counters are looking very positive. But still, from risk-reward point of view, I guess Kotak Bank still has the boost in it, inside it. So I'm expecting that from here onwards, Kotak Bank from risk-reward point of view can see a very good move in the coming period. Approximately, it is hovering near the zone of 1760 now, which is already 20 points higher in the last 30 minutes. So I'm expecting 1800 and 1820 for Kotak Bank in the short term period, let's say positional 2 to 3 trading sessions, and looking at the momentum, it might be even come before that also. But Kotak Bank has better risk reward as compared to other counters like Axis and ICICI Bank.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll also like to point out one sector that has outshone others as far as trading is concerned. Today is a very, very hectic day for the broader markets as well. And after discussing the constituents of Nifty Bank over the last 5, 7, 10 minutes, let's focus on the story of the day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the huge block deal that has happened on Indus Towers. It is Vodafone PLC, the UK parent of Indus Towers, that has sold nearly an 18% stake in Indus Towers for about $2 billion. And the counter's resilience needs to be appreciated. About a fifth of the company has been sold, and the stock is just down 2.77%. If you look at the intraday low of Indus Towers, that is 311 rupees, the counter now at 334. And given the strength of buying that has come in, the transaction is now worth, the volume on the counter is now worth 25,900 crore rupees. It's a rare event for the deal of this magnitude to happen on Indus Towers. It has helped Vodafone Idea, because Vodafone PLC has said that it will use the proceeds to pay off debt and debtors on Vodafone Idea. Entire telecom space is buzzing. You have Tejas Networks at a record high, a strong move that is coming in Himachal Futuristic, and of course Vodafone Idea and Idea Cellular to boost. What else is on the move? It's fertilizer stocks, and of course it's sugar stocks. So keep these in mind. It's been a very busy day for market watchers like us, and of course a great day to welcome Osho. Apart from banks, Osho, any one or two stocks you think might outperform in this market, which is now making fresh record highs on a regular basis?
See, overall, apart from banking space, there are various counters which are looking very positive. As you have already mentioned, the fertilizers counter have seen a very drastic up move. So major of the counters like Deepak Nitrate, Navin Fluorine, all these counters are witnessing a very strong traction in the recent period. So I am having a very bullish approach in Deepak Nitrite. Deepak Nitrite has seen a very decent up move in the recent period, and I am expecting that this should continue because it is forming a V-shaped recovery on the daily time frame, and I'm expecting that 2560, 2570 should be the immediate target for this counter. The time it reaches this zone, there we can witness some kind of consolidation or cool off, and after some time even I am having a very higher target because that is a very stiff resistance for this counter, and once it gives a breakthrough above the zone of 2570 odd levels, then another 200 odd points of rally can be seen in this counter. So this is one of the counter from short to medium term time frame. But for immediate basis like BTST or maybe 1 to 2 trading sessions, I am having a bullish view on United Spirits. In the recent period, we have seen a kind of a cool off in United Spirits, but today there has been a very strong resurgence from the 21-day exponential moving average. So I'm expecting that from here onwards, there can be a decent up move in United Spirits for the target of nearly 1300 to 1320 in the short term period, and 1235 should be kept as a stop loss, and 1320 should be seen as a target for short term perspective.
Okay, just to bring the move on United Spirits in context, there is an IPO from the liquor sector from Allied Blenders and Distillers Limited, which should be opening fairly soon, and that's added a bit of added flavor on stocks such as United Breweries and United Spirits. Of course, there is just so much of heat in Delhi that United Breweries on its own should do phenomenally well, because beer, which is the main supply, which is the main product of United Breweries, is flying off the shelves as far as Delhi and North region is concerned. HDFC Bank, ladies and gentlemen, just taking it away, 1666 for you. And what it does is, when you see the long term chart of HDFC Bank, the 16th January gap down that had happened because of earnings has now been filled up, and this is a very big positive for HDFC Bank. While the counter is well below its all-time high of 1754 rupees, but the sheer recovery in terms of price and the quickness of recovery is something to be looked at and appreciated. Your view, Osho, on HDFC Bank?
See, overall, this much of move in HDFC is very rare phenomena again. But looking at the overall performance and the kind of recovery it has seen after it has given a very strong breakout from above the 200-day SMA. So from there onwards, it has been in a vertical rally. So I expect that in a very short-term period, if there will be a gradual move, I'm expecting 1700 to be seen as the immediate target. 1690 to 1700 is the immediate zone where one should try to book their profits, because after such kind of movement of approximately 4% in a day in such a big market cap bank, there can be some kind of profit booking or correction that can be witnessed. So one should try to book profits around 1680 to 1700 odd levels only for short term perspective, but from medium to long term view, the momentum is expected to be on the higher end, and I would advise to stay invested in this counter for longer term period.
Okay, let me just put this move on HDFC Bank in context. While the 3.5% rally today and the near 16% uptick from June 4th looks to be excessive, but please keep in mind that the bank has been trading at very juicy and attractive valuations over the last 1 year or so. Let me just get that data for you. If you see the 5-year price to earnings and 5-year price to book on HDFC Bank, it's almost mouth watering when it comes to this data. It's just loading in front of me, and there was a time when the stock was trading at a 50% discount to its 5-year price to book and price to earnings ratio. Just give me a while. Yes, this is the data that is right there in front of me. As we've seen, this very sharp rally on HDFC Bank is still on a year-to-date basis, that is in the last 6 months, the counter is still down 3%. So, you know, everything has to be put into context. On the short term, it looks effectively overstretched, but when you see it in terms of a context, that is there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So the 5-year median price to earnings on HDFC Bank is 22.6. It is now at, even now after the 16% uptick, at 19.45. This PE was at 17 on 10th of May. Let's look at the price to book for a 5-year median. That is for the moment just loading in front of me. Price to book currently is 2.75, and the 5-year median is 3.45. So that's the level of undervaluation that India's premier private sector bank that controls 10% of the banking sector, as also is the heaviest weighted stock in the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, is suffering with. So keep that in mind when you look at HDFC Bank's stock price with a jaundiced eye. Infosys, Osho, the stock doing fairly well, now at days high 1515, and a decent 1 crore, 1 crore, 4 crore, 3 crore, about 10 crores worth of block deals just happening right there in front of me. What are the charts telling you?
See, overall in the IT space, I am expecting that from here onwards there will be a gradual up move, because major of the counters are having or facing a very strong consolidation after they have seen a very strong move from the lower levels. So Infosys is hovering at elevated levels in a very recent period, and it is hovering above 200-day SMA. So I'm expecting now that 1480 should be acting as a very strong support, and in the near period it should test the zone of 1560 to 1580 odd levels. Even the mid-cap ITs are something which one should keep an eye on, because they will be giving a faster return as compared to the heavyweights. So persistent, Coforge, these are the counters which are having the same kind of a chart formation, but they have a higher average trading movement. So I'm expect that Coforge and persistent, these two counters should be one should try to accumulate this at current levels for a higher returns in, let's say, 2 to 3 trading sessions. So these three counters are looking very positive to me for short term perspective. Even the other counter is Wipro. Wipro is again one of the counter which we very less talk about, but Wipro has started gaining some traction in the recent period,
Yes.
and I expect that now it will be moving towards the zone of 520 to 525 in a short term period. So this one also, one needs to keep a track on this counter also.
Fair point. And even less talked about than Wipro is Tech Mahindra, counter up 1% at 1385. If you look at the monthly charts of Tech Mahindra, the correction has been from 1800 rupees all the way down to 1100, and it is only now in the last 4, 5, 7 trading sessions that such under ownership and undervaluation have attracted a host of deep pocketed ultra HNIs, and we've seen very nice deal build-ups happening on Tech Mahindra in particular. Let's just get into the broader markets as well. Apart from IndusInd, there were 3 other block deals. On Gland Pharma, parent Fosun, the Chinese parent, sold a 5 percentage point stake. The counter is at 1,800, down 1.8%. The early morning low on Gland Pharma was 1776. There has been an equally large block deal on ZFCV. This is an auto ancillary company where the Chinese parent Vabco Asia sold a 7 percentage point stake. The counter is at 16,300. The low was 15,378. And not to forget Sansera Engineering, another auto ancillary where a fund sold about 750 crores worth of shares, and Sansera has been among the top gainers. Let me get that number for you. I think it was up 5.7%. Let me just get the right number for you. Yes, 5% at 1272, and this has been again a record high. So very strong moves coming into a lot of ancillary as well as block deal stocks. Your view on Sansera Engineering, Osho?
See, this counter has seen a very strong traction in last two trading weeks, and it has been backed by very strong volumes. But technically, all the indicators are at a very overbought territory, and obviously, once the counter has seen approximately a gain of nearly 22% in a month, so indicators will be at the overbought territory. But from here onwards, it is advisable not to be very much aggressive from here on. If someone is having the position, keep holding it with a very strict stop loss of around 1220 or 1210 odd levels, because below it again the counter can give some kind of profit booking towards 1140 to 1120 odd levels. But till the momentum is there in this counter, better to ride the momentum on the higher end. As you have mentioned, the high was approximately 1316, so 1300 should be the immediate resistance, and once it sustains above 1300, then we can see a follow-up buying in this counter. So the immediate range is somewhere around 1210 to 1300. It will be hovering in between. Keep a strict stop loss below 1200, and on the higher end it will gain momentum only once it sustains above 1300 odd levels.
256, ladies and gentlemen, the Nifty flat 23,562. The stocks that are pulling down the Nifty despite the stunning rally that we are seeing on banks are Reliance, down 1.5%, contributing a negative 36 points. L&T down 2.5%, 35.98, contributing 28 points in the negative. Bharti Airtel down 2.5%. contributing 21 negative points. Titan and Maruti 12 and 9 points respectively. One note as well on Bharti Airtel, the stock of course consolidating near record high, so nothing to be worried about. Bharti is also a co-promoter of Indus Towers, and the stake sale that has happened from another co-promoter, Vodafone PLC, Bharti has bought a 1.5 percentage point stake in Indus Towers, thereby raising its stake in Indus Towers to above 49%. So that is also to be kept in mind. A bit of profit booking happening on the Nifty, now down. Remember the day's high was 23,660 and a blowout that happened on Bank Nifty. Apart from the large cap stocks that are moving, Osho, there has been a record high on Federal Bank as well. Would you want to look at the charts there and comment?
Definitely, Federal Bank has seen a very strong move, but it has a trend that once it gives a very strong movement, then afterwards it will consolidate for a period of time until it reaches the 21-day exponential moving average. And once it reaches the 21-day exponential average, again it will start moving on the higher end. So currently it is at the higher band of the Bollinger Band. So I would expect that there can be some kind of cool off or profit booking that can happen, because in the last two candle pattern also the body size is very low. So I expect that from here onwards there is a kind of exhaustion that can be seen in this counter. On the higher end, 180 should be seen as the first resistance, while on the lower end I expect the support to be somewhere around 166 to 168. So if it comes towards 168, one should definitely try to accumulate it and try to book around the zone of 180.
Okay, 2:59, ladies and gentlemen. We have exactly 31 minutes left for trade. A mild bout of profit booking hitting Nifty Bank. The high intraday for today was 957, and from then on we've seen about 51,526. So 400 point downtick that has come in. What we'll do is we'll thank Osho. Thank you so much, sir, and we'll wait for Mr. Rit Jain, lead research analyst at 5paisa.com, to join us shortly. But what a day it has been. Okay, Ruchit has joined. Good afternoon to you, Ruchit. What a wonderful day to have you on market today. Buzz all around in the banking sector, led by HDFC Bank, ICICI and Axis. A 1400 point rise on Nifty Bank. Is this the beginning of a new uptick on Nifty Bank?
Yes, hi, very good afternoon. Well, last few trading sessions after that election results correction, we had seen that the broader markets had seen a good rally. New highs were formed in the Midcap index, highs were formed in the Nifty index, and most of the sectoral indices. But Bank Nifty was one space where a relative underperformance was seen because the private sector or heavyweights were had not participated that much compared to the other indices. And I think that's why the risk reward ratio got more favorable now after this recent run up. What we are now witnessing today, that it's not that the broader markets are rallying. The market breadth, if we see, then after many days the declines are more than advances, which indicates that the broader market is witnessing some profit booking. But clear buying interest has been seen in the banking space today, and to a certain extent, certain IT names are also witnessing some price volume action. So I think yes, the banking space, because of that relative underperformance, I think that's why buying interest has been seen, and that could continue for a while. So while there could be some stock specific momentum, some profit booking could be seen in the broader markets, but I think the strength that banking index had seen today, surpassing that previous swing highs, good volumes in most of the index heavyweights, I think that's quite a good sign, which indicates that the uptrend should continue going ahead.
Okay, this is a point that's well made by Ruchit and well taken at our end. While the banking index is making sustained record highs, there is momentum in PSU banks and Nifty financial service indices. The broader markets are undergoing a serious bout of profit booking. The Nifty 500 index, the broadest measure that we have, is down 100 points, 0.5% lower, 22,227. there is a 2 percentage point, 3 percentage point cut on the Nifty Realty Index. The Nifty PSE Index, this is the Central Public Sector Enterprises Index, is down 2% at 10,683. Similarly, Oil and Gas Index, the Energy Index down about 1.7% each. Infra Auto down 1.5% each, so on and so forth. The Midcap Index on the Nifty is down about 0.8%, and subsequently Pharma, Healthcare, all these indices have also slipped in trade. So Ruchit, a very well made point from your side. While record highs on the Nifty Bank, the broader market is in a bit of a toss. One or two stocks that you think will accelerate further based on your study of charts?
In the banking space?
Broader.
Okay, so I think within the entire space, I think IT is one pack where a good positivity could be seen in the near term. So a couple of reasons. One, we have seen that the IT index had seen a good formation of a bottom near the recent swing low of 31,300, 31,500 range. Post then an up move was seen in the first week of June. Then last 6 to 7 trading sessions have been range bound, which technically indicates formation of a bullish flag pattern. So the important supports have not been breached. Secondly, we have not seen that rally compared to the other indices in the IT front. So I think there's a lot of scope, a lot of room still left within the IT space, where some positivity could be seen. So I think if one has to take any fresh position, then looking at a good risk reward ratio is very important. For taking fresh positions over it. And I think Nifty IT index could be the next sectoral index where we should expect some good momentum. So one can look for stocks within the IT space, stocks such as Coforge, Infosys, Mphasis. These are some of the names where I think in the near term, relatively these stocks would be more safer compared to the stocks which have already rallied.
Fair point. 3:04 p.m. We have about 26 minutes of trade left. Ruchit, with your permission, I'll just take a detour into the markets, mark some prices, and then come back to you. Let's look at the Nifty beyond what is happening in the banking space. Profit booking in Titan 3.4% lower, 3467. Hindalco 2.5% down, 661. Bajaj Auto slipping 2.5% lower, 96.92. Similarly, a 2 percentage point cut on BPCL and Maruti. Ditto for Coal India and NTPC. These 5 or 7 stocks that I have mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, shouldn't be bothering you, because most of them have hit record highs in the recent past and risen dramatically. Let's look at the high beta space, where we see momentum coming into Tejas Networks, 4.5% higher. Needless to say, this is a record high. Telecom buzzing again, 1439. A strong move coming in on a small cap IT company, Datamatics, 5% higher. This is limit up, 605. Zomato, 5% higher at 197. There is an upgrade coming in from Elara Capital on this one, as also the transaction that is in the pipeline as far as Paytm is concerned. Zomato wanting to buy the entertainment business of Paytm for 2,000 crore rupees. What else? Bit of a gain on Himachal Futuristics. Megasoft is up 1.35%. But I think the last half an hour of trade would be devoted to profit booking. You've seen a 1,400 point uptick intraday on the Nifty Bank, where the trading range is just 700 points. So frisky traders would be booking some very decent gains. Ruchit, anything that interests you on the charts?
I think mid-cap space, one should, if one is looking from a short-term trading perspective, then one should be a bit cautious, as some profit booking signs are there today. The momentum readings which were overbought post the recent run-up has given a negative crossover on the hourly time frame charts. So I would be a bit skeptical and wait for some more declines in the short term. And if we get the mid-cap index, Nifty mid-cap index around that 54,000 mark, then I think there could be some contra trades which or fresh buying could be taken over there. But for now, I think within the mid-cap space, I would wait for some more declines. It's just one day, today's trading session, we have seen some profit booking at high levels. So better to wait for some dip before getting into the long trades again from the mid cap space.
Okay. A very decent bout of profit booking has happened in Mazgaon, Garden Reach, the Panch Pandav of the defense space. So Mazgaon is down 4.6%, 3982. Garden Reach has seen 3.8% down tick. BEML and BDL roughly 3.7% each, and Hindustan Aeronautics 3.7% lower. Again, nothing to be worried about. These counters have gained 50-60% over the last 1 month or so, and decent gains being booked out. In this space, today Paras Defense is still up 3.5% at 1439, and of course now the profit booking is accelerating on the Nifty. At least we have 23,500 for you, ladies and gentlemen. 63 points lower, down 0.26%. Losses on let's just say profit booking on NSE 500 is double the one on Nifty, so down 0.5% at 118, and slowly but surely a lot of gains on the Nifty Bank are already being taken out. Remember, it was up almost 1400 points, 1500 points, and now it's up only 900 points. Ruchit, anything that catches your attention?
I think no, as we are speaking about the IT names, I think within the IT names, Coforge is one stock no, which is looking a bit positive. One is wants to take positions for near-term perspective. So the 20 DMA has been acting as a good support for the stock, which is now placed around 5,360 levels. So I think it is surpassing that 20 DMA, and if the stock manages to close above that 20 DMA, then one can expect a good momentum in the near term. So it's more of a bit of defensive in nature. No stocks which have not seen a momentum, a big movement in last few trading sessions. I think such stocks can be looked for fresh buying.
Absolutely. A very sharp bounce coming in from 21 EMA, and according to the basic charts that I have, it's the 200-day exponential moving average that is sort of acting as an inhibitor for Coforge, but up 2.4% in trade today amidst a falling Nifty. So keep this mid-cap IT in space. What else is showing signs of profit booking? It's the auto space, and frankly nothing to be worried about here. Maruti 12,252. This is slipping to the extent of let me just get this right, 2.3% down in futures. Profit booking on Bajaj Auto 2% down, on Tata Motors 1% lower, Ashok Leyland 2.3% lower. Again, as I mentioned, nothing to be worried about. These are stocks that have given multi-day, multi-period record highs, and some of that money is definitely being taken off. This is good news that profit from the book moves to profit in the bank. New players come in happy that they've bought the stock lower from record high, and existing investors who've made a killing book profit, they feel happy as well. So it's happiness all around, and strength coming back into the market. Ruchit, any interesting chart pattern that you observe in an auto stock which might over the next 1 week or so start performing well?
Most of the auto names, we have seen that they've already seen a decent up move. Not exactly auto, but an auto ancillary. The tire name Apollo Tires is one stock which one can keep on their watch list. So basically, the stock has seen a good consolidation in last few trading sessions. It has resistance around that 488, 490 mark, and in case if the stock manages to surpass that resistance, then we could see a decent up move in the near term. The stock made an all-time high of around 557 on 7th of February, post which the stock has been in a price-wise as well as time-wise corrective phase. So I think this is one stock where I won't recommend to take a trade right now, but it's one stock where one can keep on watch list. If we get a breakout above that 490 mark, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then one can look for buying into Apollo Tires. But rest the large cap auto names which are there, such as M&M is there, Bajaj Auto, Hero Motoco within the two-wheeler space. I think these are the names where the broader trend still remains positive, but just what we are witnessing today is profit booking in those stocks which have already seen a rally. So I think there could be some dip within an uptrend, and rather than chasing the stock now at current levels, one can wait for such dip where buy and dip strategy should be kept.
Okay, let's also look at the fertilizer space, ladies and gentlemen. The two top outperformers in the on the FNO space are respectively Chambal Fertilizers, record high 6.5% higher, and Coromandel International up about 3.4%. Needless to say, a record high. If you look at the advanced decline ratio in the FNO, it is just 43 stock futures in the green. Compared with 143 in the red. So the gain on these two plus a record high itself becomes a little more relevant and a little more important. Ruchit, any favorites there? Chambal Fertilizers, Coromandel International.
So price-wise, I think both the stocks are looking quite strong. Chambal Fertilizer is one stock where I think the stock has seen and breakout with very good volumes in today's trading session. So although the entire sector is buzzing, so I think Chambal Fertilizer still has a room to rally around 500 to 510 range. So in the near term, one can expect good momentum in both these names, Coromandel as well as Chambal. Even certain cash stocks such as RCF is there, GSFC is there. They can witness some continuation of the uptrend. So, broader trend looks positive. Chambal, if I have to prefer one, then Chambal would be preferred.
Fair point. And as you very rightly point out, in terms of cash trades, Chambal has seen a dramatic surge in volume. Let me just put that into the right perspective. Just a moment, please. Yes, here is the data that I was talking about. And in terms of volumes, today Chambal has shown about 2 crore 15 lakh shares traded, which is about 7 times its 5-day average. And this of course comes at a time when the counter has hit a record high, and it is against the backdrop of profit booking that we see across the board. EID Parry, holding company, a sugar player, and of course also a sanitary ware player, up 10%. Deep value stock, what do you think, Ruchit, are the charts telling you on EID Parry?
Well, the structure is very positive. In spite of the rally that we have seen, the stock has rallied from 550 to almost 800 levels, above 800 levels, in fact, today in last 2 months. But still, even if you look at current levels, the volumes in today's trading session is much higher than the daily average volumes, which indicates that in spite of the rally, good buying interest has been seen in the stock. So this could lead to further momentum in the stock. Stock is trading at its all-time high. So rather than predicting where the resistance or where the targets would be, I think it's better to ride this trend with the trailing stop loss method, because sometimes some stocks, where good volumes are seen at all-time high, they tend to continue they can lead to some significant up moves even from current levels. So I think the support for the stock has now shifted to 750. So for any existing long positions, or even if one has to create fresh longs, one can keep a stop loss below 750 or 745 and go long on this stock. But as I said, don't look for any resistances. Rather, chase this momentum with a trailing stop loss method.
Fair point. And the last 15 minutes of trade begin on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen dramatic price action on Nifty Bank. The counter now up 1.8%. I'll try and show you the long-term chart of Nifty Bank over the last 1 month or so. You'll be surprised to recollect that Nifty Bank was trading at 46,000 points on June 4th. The low was 46,000 points. It will just come right there in front of you. This is an intraday chart that is there, and from 46,000 points day on day, the Nifty Bank has gathered steam, and now more than 5,000 points, 5,600 points higher if you look at the intraday peak. So that's been the rally. 14% uptick on Nifty Bank from June 4th, and a 16% uptick on HDFC Bank. So that's how rallies are made, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, we are talking about a market capitalization of, let me just check what is the market capitalization of HDFC Bank. I don't remember it offhand, but it's definitely above, let's just say 8 lakh crores. It will just come to me. Okay. No, my apologies, I don't see it in front of me. But let me just mark some very interesting data. 6,837 crores worth of transactions that have happened on HDFC Bank today. And if you see the 5-day average, which is about 2,000 crores, so you can well imagine what the delivery statistic will be today in terms of HDFC Bank. Okay, this is it. 1 second. Okay, 5-day average is now 3272 because you are adding today's average as well. Total value of trade today is 6,723, and this makes it 2x. So 2x volume that you've seen on HDFC Bank, and a very, very fine move overall coming. Anything, Ruchit, in terms of charts, in terms of option data that catch your fancy?
So fresh long formations are there in the derivative segment also today, where price up move has been supported by rise in volumes. So which is a good sign. And today what we have witnessed in the option segment as well, that the call writers had to run to cover, because 1600 call had the highest open interest outstanding as on yesterday. Where today a lot of unwinding has been seen. So I think this was a combination of fresh long built up as well as unwinding of call writing positions, which has led to this 3% up move in HDFC Bank. For now, it seems that the momentum would continue, because even in the cash segment, the volumes are better than the higher than the average. So I think possible the stock could head higher towards its previous swing highs, which was around 1710, 1720.
Okay, and that's the view coming in on HDFC Bank. Surprise, surprise, Ruchit, we've seen a strong uptick on India VIX as well, up 6%, 6.32% for you at 1370, 13.78. Remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9 losing sessions, VIX has gone up again. This is just an observation. Anything that you would like to add, given the volatility in the market, profit booking in the broader Dalal Street, and a very strong green tick in Bank Nifty as well as Fin Services Index. Your view on volatility, Ruchit?
I think one should not worry much till the volatility index is below 70. Before the big event that has just passed by, we witnessed that the normal range for India VIX was 16, 17 on the higher side and 11, 12 on the lower side. So in spite the last few trading sessions, the volatility index has corrected sharply from 30, 31, high of 30 or 31. And I think there could be some pullback move, but no, it's still within that normal range which we were witnessing before the event. So till it is below that 16 mark, 16 or 17 next on the higher side, I don't think one should read much into it. This could just be a pullback move, just because the broader markets have witnessed some profit booking today. The market breadth has turned negative after so many days of continuous up move. So I think this is just a pullback move, but nothing much to worry about.
Fair point. 320, and we are in the last 10 dying moments of trade of what has been a very, very interesting day. Any BTST or STBT calls, Ruchit, that you would have in mind?
I think from the banking space, SBI would be one stock where I would recommend to go long from a BTST perspective. So private sector banks have participated nicely today. So maybe some of the heavyweights such as SBI is there, Bank of Baroda is there. Within the PSU banking space, they could see some further positive momentum in the near term. They have not seen any significant rally to today's trading session. So SBI, one can go long with stop loss below 842 and expect target somewhere around 865.
Fair point. And SBI, ladies and gentlemen, let me read out some very interesting data for you. I'm talking about yesterday. when about 1.49 crore shares were traded, and this was converted into a delivery percentage of 43%, which is 64.3 lakh shares. If you look at the 5-day average, the delivery percentage is just 55 lakhs. Now let's look at what SBI has done today in terms of just the number of shares that have been traded. I am sure it's a blowout number, just bear with me. Okay, it's 3 crores 20 lakh shares. Yesterday was 1.4 crores, so it's almost more than double. And of course the traded volume is now 2722 crores. Let's look at the long-term chart of SBI. I just want to check out what's the all-time high. I'm sure we are very close on this one. Just a moment please. Yes, the all-time high is 907, and in the days on the election counting day, as also the next day, very large family offices, ultra HNIs had had their fill on SBI when the price was between 743 to 800 rupees, and that is now coming up very strongly. A very nice call, Ruchit, very sensible, and of course we are awaiting a record high on SBI maybe over the next 1 week or so. Any view that you would have on TCS?
TCS is one stock where I would look more from a positional perspective rather than short-term trading. Well, no, the stock has seen some corrective phase since the mid of March. The 61.8% retracement of the entire previous move was around 3600, and exactly that's where the stock has recently took the support. But there is no higher volume action still in the stock, so I think it may take some time for the stock to revive and show new highs again. Maybe next month when the quarterly results would come out, that would be the time where again the IT would be more in focus. So from a near-term perspective, we could see some consolidation. But yes, if one is looking from a bit mid-term perspective, maybe I would say next 3 to 6 months, 1 or 2 quarters, if one has any view, then definitely the downside seems to be limited, so one can take fresh exposure over here.
Okay, fine. That, ladies and gentlemen, will draw us close as far as taking stock tips, stock calls is concerned. We are now at 325. Let me just start marking the entire market for you today. A glorious day. 1,000-point uptick on Bank Nifty. Needless to say, this is a record high. I'm talking about closing levels. Intraday, the index had shot up by about 1,400 points. A 2 percentage point higher close, mostly on Nifty Bank. Remember, if you think 2 percentage points is strong, and of course it is, there were 2 sessions back to back on Nifty Bank when we saw 4 percentage point gains, and this was just 2 weeks ago. So keep that context in mind. A blowout that's happened on HDFC Bank, 3.5% higher, 1660. ICICI Bank 2% higher, 1144. Kotak 1.4% higher at 1743, and a very sharp move coming into Axis Bank as well, 3.5% higher, 1228. SBI is a laggard, 1% up at about 854. But keep this stock in mind: India's largest bank by any measure, controlling 26% of Indian banking, is still below record highs, and this will be rectified pretty soon. Apart from the sharp move that has come in the banking sector, the entire focus in market today was on the side of telecom. A huge block deal. To my mind, one of the largest 2 or 3 that come to my mind immediately is on IndusStar's. The resilience, I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, of the stock needs to be appreciated. 334, intraday low was 311. Sustained buying, apart from the 19,000 crore rupee block deal of an 18% stake sale from UK parent Vodafone PLC that took place, and beyond that you see a very sharp move coming into stocks such as Zomato, 5% higher, 198.80. A very quick one on Zomato, Ruchit, any view?
Positive price volume action is quite bullish in today's session. Recently, the stock has also seen one correction where the 100-day moving average has now acted as a support. So maybe poised for a new high again. Any existing positions should continue to ride on this trend.
Okay, fair point. That's a view that's coming on Zomato. Let me just help you with the all-time high on the counter. I think it was somewhere like 210 rupees or higher. This was 207, and we've seen this price on 13th May. So let's see whether this one breaks out or not. Most probably it will. 327, apart from the strong move on Telecom, two sectors shown through, and that was the fertilizer space based on hopes that the June 22nd GST Council meet will see a proposal coming in from the Fitment Committee requesting a 5 percentage point removal of the GST tax that is that is in place on fertilizer stocks. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the top gainers. So you have FACT at a record high, RCF at a record high, and of course Cholamandalam and Chambal also hitting record highs in this space. Apart from that, the list of record highs has Federal Bank, Praj Industries 691, and stocks such as Oracle Finance 98.28, and of course RK Forging 4% higher at 841. Closing comments from you, Ruchit. What worked well and what is likely to work well tomorrow?
So there has been a divergence which is seen today. One, that Nifty is still flat to marginally negative in spite of Bank Nifty rallying by 1,000 points. And of course, the banking stocks which moved today were the heavyweights. But in spite of that, Nifty has not moved, which clearly indicates that the sector rotation is taking place, where profit booking has been seen in the broader markets in some of the stocks which has already seen a rally post the election results, and now funds or money may be shifting or chasing the stocks which had not performed yet or which had relatively underperformed. So I think banking is one space where we could expect some good momentum to continue going ahead. Selective IT names would be one space, because there also, if we see after this recent underperforming phase, the risk reward ratio is still favorable over there where the stocks had not moved yet. So I think such pockets where the risk reward ratio is favorable, short-term traders should focus on such names rather than chasing those names which have already seen a good rally. I think such divergence could continue in tomorrow's trading session as well. So better to stay away from such high beta names and concentrate more on names which are showing outperformance.
Fair point. What a lovely summary of how trade has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, please be very cautious on the broader markets now. We've seen a very sharp rally from the lows of June 4th, and almost all sectors, all major stocks have given multiple record high levels. This is a time to book profit, and one needs to be very, very cautious. I leave you with the advanced decline number on the National Stock Exchange, 1400 shares in the red compared with 900 in the green. This is a clear case of divergence. Look at the advanced decline ratio in NSE 500, 358 stocks in the red, 142 in the green, and within the Nifty, 40 stocks in the red, 10 in the green. This is against the backdrop of a record high on Nifty Bank. So under-owned, undervalued, and those stocks that have not performed are the ones in demand, and you see profit booking happening across the board. Thank you, Ruchit. What a pleasure to have you. We'll be back on the saddle tomorrow morning on markets, when we'll be dealing with the weekly expiry of the Nifty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I and our team did in presenting it to you. Stay tuned to Business Today for all your news needs on the financial market size beyond market close. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.